them, but normally we do this in a classroom situation, is, here's the first one. If I spoke to your 5 best friends or the people who knew you the best, what would they say you did better than almost anyone else in the world? And what I'm trying to do by that question, Laura, is I'm trying to ascertain what they're really, really good at, okay? So the question again is, if I spoke to your 5 best friends or the people who know you best, what would they say you're better than almost anybody else in the world at doing? Then, here's the second question. If you only had 4 weeks left in which you could work, and after that you were going to retire and live a happy life and be able to do anything you wanted to, but in that 4 weeks you had to work, you could do anything you wanted to, but you had to make a living out of it, what would you choose to do with your time for that 4 weeks? And that question is really a question about seeking their passion. Because if you asked me that same question, my answer would be to do exactly what I'm doing now. To travel the world, to meet other inspiring people, to be inspired myself, to share philosophies and thoughts and wisdom that I've gained from many, many different places, to make a difference and to contribute to the planet, and to have some real fun doing it. So I'm doing what I love to do. There's a lot of people, mostly over 90%, who probably aren't. So hopefully those 2 questions are helpful for them to just start focusing on, write them down, start focusing on them over the next few months. Ask your friends what they think you're good at. That could be a really good thing to do as well, because if you do, you might get some insights that just sort of take you in another direction. And just to finish that off, just one final example. I did that in South Africa a couple of years ago, and a lady in the audience came back to me and said, Mike, the answer to that question is, the thing that I'm most passionate about in the world is speaking. I want to be a speaker just like you. But the thing all of my friends tell me I'm best at in the world is listening. How the heck do I create a business out of that? So it was easy for me because I saw it straight away, but sometimes you just got to ask a couple of people because she didn't see it. She now has a wonderful brand in South Africa called The Listening Speaker, the person who teaches you to truly be able to communicate. And imagine going into corporates and teaching corporates how to truly listen to their customers. That's what she does, and she's got a very successful business doing it. So any unique ability which is a bridge between your passion and your competence can be turned into a business.
Okay, so you said competence as well, right? It's not just the passion. Some people can have, a passion for dancing, but they're pretty unco. It's not going to happen, is it?
It's sure not going to happen. There's a lot of things that I have passion for, but I'm not good at them, and I probably never will be. So whilst I have a passion for music, I'm not a great singer, and I get by. And I've sung on albums, and I can sing backup vocals and all of that sort of thing. But last night I was at a function here in Singapore where there was a lady who's also a speaker, and she was getting me to help and assist her because she was doing a song. And when I heard her sing, I said, yeah, there's no way I could ever in this lifetime be that good. There's no way I would feel comfortable auditioning for American Idol. Maybe Australian Idol, but not American Idol. So, I could maybe get to round 2 in, Kazakhstan Idol or something like that, but not American Idol. So it doesn't matter how much I try with that one, I won't ever be having the voice of Bono or Frank Sinatra or anything like that. So there's some things that you've got to find other ways to do. But I'm a pretty handy guitar player.
Fantastic. So you touched on something that's very important too. You said the competent can have fantastic dreams about their passions, but without the competence backing it, it's not going to happen. So it's marrying the two and getting, getting a person to be able to say these two things will work. Now, when you get to that stage, do you have to deal with the self-doubt that people have and they second-guess themselves?
Yeah, sure. You absolutely do. And for me, I think the defining moment there was having a drink with some of my old school friends, people I'd known since I was 3, 4, 5 years old in Melbourne, in Australia. And they asked me, oh, Mike, you know, what are you going to be doing in the next couple of years? And so I drew in a deep breath, and I said to them, and in the best possible way that I could frame it, and this is not at all what I wanted to do, but I knew they'd understand it, I said, I'm going to become New Zealand's Anthony Robbins. And I waited for them to laugh and crack jokes and all of that sort of thing, and they just said, he'd be really good at that. And I thought, wow, if my friends who would normally, you know, poke fun at me and everything like that, like your best friends do, say that to me over a few drinks, then maybe I should listen to them. Maybe I actually would be really good at that. Maybe I've got to stop self-doubting. So I think the answer is that we've all got self-doubt. You know, if you don't think Richard Branson's got self-doubt, if you don't think Bono's got self-doubt, you know, I think that you live in a very different world, because every single person has self-doubt to some level. But it's just the difference between fear and courage is one step.
And that is actually taking that step, isn't it? Taking action rather than wringing your hands thinking, oh dear, it's not going to work.
Absolutely.
So basically, when you